We are live, and it is Monday. Let's do it. So, according to this chart that I built, today is an alert day. Being as it, first, there was huge movements in the market today. I also didn't record yesterday, even though I was active, just because it was more spreadsheet related stuff. There's not a lot of alerts, so we can get quickly into the charts. The day closed at 8 p.m. So, being that it is 8:43 now, we're into April 14th on the crypto time zone. Trying to take it pretty light here and make these lives a little bit shorter. It's worked with my meetings. I think it can work with this schedule here. We've officially been streaming for a little over 2 months now, and we've accumulated, let's see how many videos we've accumulated over that time. We've had some pretty good experience, so let's continue to build on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, wow, 24, 25. So over the course of 2 months, we've got 28 videos. That's a decent amount. See which the first official day, February 6th, maybe? Yeah, nice. February 8th. Okay. And in this period, what we see here is on the Bitcoin side of things, this is the price action from when we started. Here. In total, we're up 4.88% during this 64-day period. We've had swings down, we've had swings up. We caught some of them on the upside, including this most recent one. It was the meat of the move. It wasn't the entire move, but it's good. So what we're trying to do is capitalize when it's time to go up, and then potentially capitalize on its way down if we ever end up getting up to this area and not lose money in the process. That last part is very important. And we have here Colin Gladman. Colin Gladman, that's his last name? Okay. He's a good guy. He's got some pretty good trading. He runs a group that we're not a part of. He runs a group, and mostly, I think exclusively, he does stocks. And he's been really good with the downside on the stock market. Something like Tesla, for example. Let's go here. Rocket Mortgage. This is the one that I wanted to play today, actually. Let's see. It's up 2% today. Not a whole lot. But I like how it's forming this bottom here. It does that a lot, where it forms a bottom, comes up, gives it back, comes up again. But what got me most interested is that each time it's forming these higher lows, and this is across a long time. This is 4 years, each time forming a higher low. So I really like this for a breakout play. I GPT'd this, and it looks like they're actually doing quite well, and their fundamentals are increasing overall. They just purchased Mr. Cooper, which was my mortgage company, and they're now the largest mortgage provider in America. So maybe the price doesn't reflect the fundamentals yet. One thing to probably be cautious about is if there is any type of housing issues. It's stated now that there was some news that came out that both buyers and sellers are lacking. So we'll see where equilibrium falls there. But yeah, as far as market leaders, Rocket Companies is one of them. They were also part of the meme coin craze that happened in 21. Uh, here. Oh, they went live in 2021, and there was the initial jolt up, the sell off, and then we're steadily now gaining some ground. This is a nice channel. This is not unlike Coinbase. Charts tend to happen like this, where companies will go public, then insiders, whatever, will sell them off, and then a rise to grace. That's if their fundamentals stay aligned with and their leadership and the decisions that they make. And you can see here that basically every earnings quarter they've been beating, except for this one here. And it looks like this earnings was front ran, and then on the news it dropped again. We're finding certain bottoms. This is nice. This is good. Um, this is a good company to invest in. It's not gonna swing super volatile. So yes. Oh yeah. What was I gonna do? He called Tesla. He called Tesla, Microsoft, Palantir, basically at the tops. And at this moment, it looks like he still has an eye towards the market going down, even though like so much is moving to the upside right now. The last time he tweeted was 15 minutes ago of like, is AIET second? Oh, he's sick. Ouch. This is how he felt. Let's see what an inside bar doji or a doji looks like. SPX. Here we go. This is an impressive move up, honestly. And it may have some sort of inside bar doji. Here's what it looks like. Inside bar would mean like it opens higher and then it closes inside this bar here. And then a doji would be like equal on both sides, but relatively in the middle here. And then he's calling for a further downside, which I could kind of see. We're pushing into some pretty high resistance areas. On the crypto side of things, we were able to toss a whole bunch in, and then on this amazing move up, as you see from Solana. Where's Solana? This is the 5-minute chart, which is way too low. Oh, this is Sol ETH, which I like because it's pinging me. Solana. I might just put this down here in case it comes back down to this area. Ethereum might outperform Solana. I guess it has over the last year and a half. This is the last high. Yeah, Ethereum has outperformed Solana quite heavily during this period. Is it going to continue to do this? Who knows? We drew a blue arrow, and it seems to be following this blue arrow after breaking down from here. But we'll see. Maybe there's going to be some sort of bounce. I'd like to see some sort of fundamental change on Solana in order for it to catch back up to Ethereum, because Ethereum has been making some progress towards the quantum stuff, and they're always kind of upgrading. They're the number 2 crypto, so it looks like that is kind of playing out for them. But if we look at Solana USD, which we were playing earlier today, along with Ethereum, we had some Bitcoin, a good amount of hype. Yeah, this whole play here, 5% was a really good move for us, because in the weekend we did something. We positioned a little too early, got shaken out, and then push. What happened over the weekend, which was the 11th? Here, this here. We kind of bought a little early. There's some peace talk stuff, then peace talks evaporated, and then now America's making this really strong play to block off the Strait of Hormuz as well in front of Iran, and that's a 40 chess move. Basically, if you're charging any fees and tariffs, we're going to pre-charge those fees and tariffs for you, something like that. It kind of gets countries to buy oil from America because we're cutting off Iran's supply. There's a lot of like crazy decisions that are being made in these war games. But anyways, we hit this moment here, and then I cut like 85% of positions. Then I started a small short on Ethereum, and it seems to be kind of playing out. I'm not going to hold on to it for too long. Like I said, it's just a small short anyways. But I wish my chart reflected the one that I have on my phone. But basically, this area here, this yellow line, was the place that we needed to break. So once we broke past it, I just started shorting. And it looks like we're going to retrace minimum down to this line. And if this is another one of these moments, like this moment here, then we probably retrace down again. It's just been happening so frequently, it makes sense to be taking profits, even though it feels like when it comes up with this type of velocity, it feels like it's just going to go on forever. When those points, when you start feeling that way, probably is good to take profits or even sell your entire position. So the short is kind of more of a hedge on the things that I still have open. More long than short still right now, but yeah, 80%. Secured a lot of profit there. And whatever we lost over here was like down here, 4.5%. We kind of made back over here, up 7.8%. And I can't be mad at that. That's good. We want to continue to stack this up. Now, I will say, though, if it does actually end up coming back, like I think it probably ends up here and going up. But if it does end up coming back down to here, we're still looking at higher lows, right? And then this move up towards 3,000 that we've been talking about for like 2+ weeks now, it looks like it might be coming to fruition, which would be nice. Bitcoin at 74, we're targeting this area, and it's the same old thing with Bitcoin. We have these higher lows, these equal lows here, and hoping to get this higher low situation so we can pop up. And this is one of the stronger moves. Like we have a pretty strong move over here that retraced halfway, came up, and then tested it again. And then that's kind of the similar strength that we saw. So whales positioning well, shorts still continuing to get wrecked here. This is solid. I can see it potentially coming. I don't see it coming back down to below 72. Now, if it does, it's probably a good idea to take a stab at it here. So for the final move up, I wrote a bunch of notes, and I'll go review them today. I wrote some here on my board with a marker. And I believe that we have a good 15 days or so before decisions must be made. So leading up to it, we're going to have decisions being made, probably some on the positive side, as we see at this point in time. There's good movement on both the S&P, kind of targeting all-time highs, and with Bitcoin having these higher lows, meaning we're poised for some good news to take us higher. And when that news resolves, it's kind of one of those sell the news moments, buy the rumor, sell the news. And so we sell that, and then potentially, especially if we're like up here in this region, I think that's a good place to start taking some shorts. Courtesy of borrowing kind of DP's thesis, he's kind of saying the same thing here. Preparing some short orders. He's starting at 80. He's going all the way up to 83. I would be doing the exact same thing, and I would probably go large there. So we have some really good actionables. That would be the next gigantic play that I'd like to be taking. And 15 days from now would clock us at 14 days from yesterday would clock us at 27th. So what do we do? What do we do here? It's all preparation. I want to check out the alerts. Then we're going to go into spreadsheet stuff. So let's see. We got some pretty decent alerts on Zcash. It ended up being a topping area when it topped hard up here. And that's actually not surprising. It doesn't mean it can't go up into this area, though. I still would be targeting this area. Let's see. Come on. We grab all these. Delete. All right. Yeah, this is still fine. You see how the bull flag is thrusting into the next move? I can totally see it going and making its final ascent. Maybe not to 502, but like this area. 435. That's not bad. I could take that. This alert hit here today. It hit the 50s. It even hit the 40s. I didn't take that play because I didn't know that the market was just going to fly like this. And even if it did, maybe there were better candidates other than Zcash, like Hype, for example, who's kind of like breaking all-time highs right now. But yeah, I believe that we will see some sort of final thrust into here. Yeah, I can go for that. So we'll remove this, just get rid of all these alerts here, and then start preparing some shorts up here. Short prep. And that's because we're kind of in a crab market. You might not see that in the S&P because what the heck? We're hitting all-time highs. But as it relates to basically all cryptos, where we're down 40% plus, and we keep going up and down in this area, which is great for everybody who's not a long-term investor. So if you're a liquidity provider, or you're the market maker, or you're trading on information and you're moving the markets, then that's actually great because you know when to long and when to short. It's hard to mimic those moves as you're being as a trader, because when it goes up, you don't know how high it's going to go, and you want that to be the bottom. And then when it goes down, you're scared that it might go lower. So it's hard to buy and sell in those scenarios. But we're making this move happen. I think what I'm trying to anticipate here is this giga short. Looking for the giga short move up here, regardless of how good news might feel or sound at this time. Hitting that move, like not giga up here, maybe like taking the starter position here, then as it starts to revert back to lower prices, that's when you'll start to add to those shorts. And then if it finds a bounce, you can short the bounce, get an average price of something around here. That's kind of a sweet spot, right? It's like you don't have to nail the exact top. You can wait for it to be safe. So like from here all the way back to these lows would be a 50% move. That's huge if you're giga, right? If your position is giga. From here, it's a 60% move. It's not that much better. So it's okay to feel safe. All right, got on the light blocking glasses. That's gonna help. It helps me think. Let's get rid of. Let's just. I kind of like that mountain. We can keep that mountain up there. All right. What else we have for today? Ether pop into 2382, which was just earlier. That was a top. That's cool. 2382 was pretty close to the top here. I probably mimicked this piece. I don't hate any of what I see here. I'm going to delete these. And, some longs would end up getting liquidated here. I'll probably start to buy down here. If we can get this long liquidated, that's a good match. I don't see any pivots on this. Is this the pivot chart? This is the pivot chart. Yeah, there's actually no pivots up here on the 15 minute at least. On the hourly, this one here is a pivot. The color of these candles seem pretty healthy. Looking for a move higher. See how we printed some purples here? That coincided with the exhaustion. We broke past this, so super strong. I'll be incredibly surprised if we get below 2300 before, like, I think 25 before 23 at this point. These are some short liquidations to take out, but no pivots. This is very interesting. When you see that it's just only air above you, that's a pretty good sign that we're going to continue this. Yeah, the next pivot would be at 26, which is a good move. It's another 10% move. Yeah, we can totally capitalize on that. I don't want to be buying up here though. I want to see what it does, because the last time, I mean, this is nice that it's green, right? It's green on the way up versus this entire red scenario here. Because then green goes to turquoise, goes to purple, goes to pink. And if we see this acceleration up here, we're definitely going to see some purples, but maybe even pink. And then once we see pink, we know, like, we can take the foot off the gas, and then position for some shorts, really. Like, that would be a hell of a move down. And that would make sense too, because we've seen something like that happen, like up and all the way down. We're going up. Like, this almost exactly mimics this, which is so dangerous. We had no whites here. It was just red, orange, and green. This double bottom with white candles is strong for like some momentum up. But the fact that we fell on greens is interesting. I don't think it's going to repeat the same thing. Don't get me wrong. The reason why is because during this area, there was like huge liquidity crisis, which I think is largely accounted for now. There's been so many months since that. It's been 3 months already since kind of that area. So yeah, I can totally see us moving into this pivot area and then down. We even have a second target up here in the threes. That would be so interesting to see how that looks. It's another 30% move. Whew. All right. One can dream. One can dream. All right. Moving this drawing over here. Oh, we're definitely not hitting hundreds. I mean, I don't want to say definitely, but if we do, it's going to be further out in the future. Let's say this is totally a bottom, right? Okay, totally bottom. Boom. Go straight to 100, hit all-time highs. Woohoo. There's going to be some sort of catalyst. USA number one, whatever. But barring that, we have this pivot here at 80, and we can definitely exceed the 80 by a little bit. Like we're so close already at this point, and we've hit all the targets for BTC here. So, yeah, not bad. Okay, click, 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 click. It's still today. So we're going to check it out. Let's finish everything from April 13th. Keep what's noteworthy. This is super interesting. Like, wow. Right? This completely took these fractals out of the equation. We're breaking all-time highs on semiconductors, which is, and that makes me want to look at AAOI, which, oh my gosh, this is the move. This is like the play of the year. And we were able to capitalize on some of it, but I would say that I wish we capitalized more. The with software and certain tech stocks not doing well, this industry has done well. Healthcare has done well. DFTX is one that I have been positioned in since like $5. I've been watching it. It's just you know some sort of news is going to be coming out soon for something like this. It's pretty awesome. We're going into the earnings next month, and it might just fly from there. We're not getting any big pullbacks. 15%, which is I think kind of significant. Here was 25. If we were to get a 15% pullback here, that support 25 would double bottom this, which I guess is what happened here. Yeah, well, maybe that does happen. So that's good. That would be a reason that I would like to take to buy, honestly. But yeah, like there are certain sectors that are just doing extremely well. U.S. oil taking a little break here. I don't think this is actually the top for U.S. oil. It's just such a crazy market to play right now. At some point, though, it will be the top for U.S. oil. I don't think it's now. Do I have Monday.com saved here? All right, let's get rid of that. Yeah, I mean, if we kind of come down to this certain pivot point here, you can expect some news and it's going to bounce. But I would more expect it to follow this. This is a descending triangle. I think it's descending or it's ascending triangle, which usually does something like this. Have we seen the top? Like the highest price oil is going to go? It's maybe. Like I don't know. There's not a market that I actually want to pay too much attention to just because it's so crazy. But silver's going to have its next time. It's only really made this move, this one long, gigantic move, which was 5x plus. And then it's taking a break for now. I like it. I really wish I can hold things longer, but I sold them here. Bought at like 68 and then sold at 10% up. So if I'm looking at silver, I don't want to buy at these prices up here. I want to buy them at these prices down here. And I don't know if we're going to hit them. If we don't hit them, then it is what it is, right? Whatever. Gold was hitting 5,500. It came all the way down. This was a huge opportunity here. I bought gold and silver at the same time, but it's up 15% off the bottoms. We're completely out. We'd want to potentially get in somewhere like, I mean, even here, I would say. Yeah. Okay. See that you're active in the messages, Iman. So happy to welcome to watching this next video here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go into the watch list for MindTrader, and then we'll just kind of run through my thought process on those because this is actually pretty substantial. We've not seen something happen like this before. Like this is actually breaking all-time highs. Thank you. We are going to have a big gain this year. We're definitely putting the time and the effort in. It's all about hitting that timing correctly, which we'll do. It is very interesting. So when I see a chart like this, um, looks like a bubble forming to me, and it's funny how we just at 3:55 p.m., which is 5 minutes before the market closing, it literally just touched the alert, and then the market closed. Very strange how those type of things happen. But if we're following what Colin is saying here, it's like at this point, that's wow. Well, these targets were way off, I think. Short sale, yeah. Um Colin DP saying the same thing. We're up and then we're down, and then after down, we're up, right? Um in the next day, we can see it push and then come down and then continue the trend. This is obviously the trend for how many years now? Like so many years. Since 22, we've 9x off of this, creating this giant double bottom pattern. This is a W. I don't even know what you call this, double cup and handle, but there was definitely a lot to trade on this if you're just specifically looking at this 3x leverage ETF. I'm going to move this down back to here just because I don't do Soxel frequently. And I'll also add it to the watch list just because it's good to know. We have a MindTrader alert on there. Oh, yeah, that was the short opportunity. But we can take this off here and put it into the stocks. Let's put it into our stocks. Nah, there's too many there. Alerts or daily. What do we have here next? We hit the stop loss on the short trade. That is also fine. Nothing wrong with that. Not always going to be right 100% of the time. We've now seen MindTrader run 3 or 4 successful take profits, and then we've also seen some stop losses being hit, which is good. You're able to preserve capital, make money where you can, and then lose as little as possible with stop losses. And here, this is a very interesting area, right? This is where MindTrader had his stop loss. This is also where my fractal stopped. And we're in a very big point of contention here. Do we see some sort of reversal after a up move like here? This is the arrow. Oh my gosh, I used 3 clicks to make this arrow. Boom. This arrow here. Down to this area, maybe sometime in June. Sell in May and go away. We've already proven that that's not a real thing. It's actually doesn't work more so than it does. But we do have that 14-day period in which, hey, reality is going to set in, and people will need to reassess what their investment decisions are, like especially these hedge funds and money managers. So a 10% move down would make sense here. That would be a target number 2 that actually barely didn't get hit over here. Man, if you were in this trade and you barely didn't hit it, you probably should just take profits. Palantir goes down today, which is interesting. I think we picked some up today. Buy above, stop loss hit. We'll just cancel this out. I like Palantir on here, though. I like getting an alert for Palantir every once in a while. Hims and hers. So, like I mentioned in previous videos, when Hims was down below here, I guess it was like in this patch. I'm like, I don't want to buy it. I don't know what's gonna happen with it. Like I still have, we have a couple hundred shares, so we are positioned in it. The way that I felt though when I made this alert was like, buy it anytime. It's a bargain. It's a steal before below $20. I barely didn't listen to myself this time, but I don't mind buying higher if it kind of resolves higher. Like going into this earnings, man, it makes sense to buy it here now, but this could kind of happen and that would be painful. But if that was to happen, that would be a very nice buying opportunity. We'd just be locking up some funds for some time. I might sell some calls. That might be a solid way to play this. Sell some puts rather. Sell some puts down in the 19s. Yeah, I don't mind that. I think I thought about doing that on Friday, but didn't do it. It's still anyone's game here. If fundamentally Hims is still good, we have a good amount to play with. It's still a 3x from here. So even if we get it halfway, if it's close to 30, we still could double here. Like going heavy. Because I think that yes, the fundamentals do support Hims. They're just like in a huge acquisition frenzy, which is not always a good thing. But now that they're also in Europe, and then they have the female line that's catching up heavily in the market, it's probably going to do well as like a long term vehicle. People are very interested in these. It's a very health conscious movement that we're in right now. So I'll delete this and keep the one above there. Just keep things consistent. The oh yeah, clear came down to 46 for us. I didn't look at it today, but that was actually a bottom. Popped 4% from here. So if it was something like this, ooh. I mean, obviously my lines are just lines. Let's do a little charting on this one. Okay, I really like this chart. This is the IPO and what it's really done in 2021. So over the course of years, we've kind of done one of these things. And we're looking for this cup and handle to play out. So the handle might have to take some time and then boom, right? Let's look at some levels where people would want to be buying. Maybe here, 41. 41 would probably be the lowest I'd want it to go. But let's get closer because this is years ago, right? Coming down to 44 maybe. It's possible. 44 maybe. And then most recently it tagged here. Man, I mean, yeah, I would 42 to 43 seems like the sweet spot. If you're buying for the long term, and then like you probably want to cut it. You probably want to cut it anywhere down here. This is like if your stop loss. If fundamentals are causing this drop. Fundamentally, it's fine. So people should be buying it up. This is like all the way down to 2022, right? Oh, this is even in 23 and 4. That's crazy. But yeah, okay, we're gonna leave that here. We're done with the alerts. Let's go and jump into Mind Trader watch list. Cool. Circle. Wow, look at Circle doing its thing. Man, I was mm, I was not willing to buy down here on Circle, honestly. But yeah, hit the stop loss and now it's pushing through it. This is creating some higher lows, so I'm anticipating for something like this to happen. Yeah, it could still happen. It already hit the stop loss on MindTrader, but it's worth keeping this here. Galaxy. Oh yeah, Galaxy. I don't know when I put this in here. Looks like it's kind of doing a thing though. So let's see what actually ends up happening with Galaxy. If it hits a stop loss, I might I might buy some puts, yeah, from here. NIO car company in China. This is a pretty, I think it's relatively new one. We started putting the dates on these, so it's possible that this was a little older. But we got it put on here. It looks like March 23rd, and yeah, now it got above it. So targets would be pretty decent. Mm. Palantir is not making the right move, unfortunately, even though our president just pumped it with the stock ticker and everything. That's why I got into some. Don't want to get left behind on this. Palantir. LP. Oh, interesting. Yeah, yeah. So when we say that it's in play, what does it mean? I actually forgot. What does in play mean? Like, do I move it up here into in play when it happens? GameStop actually holding very strong, man. It might be worth buying GameStop. Let's see. Short squeeze. It goes straight to the one that I want to go to. Wow, now it's gated. You need a subscription. Days to cover is still at 8.7. Wow. Wow. See if Gemini can show us anything. Uh, stock tickers. And you provide data that there it is. Did manually. All right, let's see. For value. 15% short squeezing. All right. I might could take this, to be honest. I I don't hate GME here. I gotta write some of these things down because I always say I'm going to go back to the Discord, but during market hours, I don't look back at the Discord. Maybe I should just look back at the Discord. Paper here. There's a couple of good ones that we're looking at. Let's just go for GME for now. GME. RKT was another one. Okay. This target, how far are we from the second target? 9%. All right. I don't hate that. It's probably going to gap up. All stocks are probably going to be up tomorrow. But yeah, how far can this go? Who knows? Like, I don't know if we're going to get another short squeeze thing. All I see is like a tight coiling above this area. So quite nice. We had this, I don't know when this happened, but it did in 2024. And it's found some footing. It's beating earnings consistently, which is very interesting. Revenue is not doing well, but earnings is doing well for some reason. I don't know what that even means. Uh, okay, so quarter three of 2025 was good. Destroyed in Q4. And absolutely smothered again in Q4. This is Q3. Yeah, what's going on here? Like revenue is in the billions. I mean, it's in the billions. There's 1 billion reported, 1.28 billion. That was the previous year. Yeah. Estimated EPS, reported EPS. Yeah, margins are still pretty good. That's what it looks like. Look at this beat. Fine. What we're gonna see though is even if it does make this move up, we're gonna get challenged. So, and most, I think what we're looking at is like a 30% move here. I don't hate that. We can potentially do calls here. GME. Yeah, maybe next month. Looking at May 15th. When does it report earnings? June, huh? All right. I mean it's not that bad. The volatility sitting in the 30s, 40s. That's really good for something like GameStop. Poised for a squeeze with 15% short float, currently short. Days to cover. That's a lot. We were seeing 10 days to cover on GME during the squeeze, and we're at like 11 now, which is kind of crazy. It's low for the supply, but days to cover is very high, suggesting it would take over 2 weeks to exit positions. Michael Burry actually just purchased some GameStop as well. So, and this is interesting too. The fact that there's more calls. I mean, the fact that there's a 0.3 more call. What's Michael Burry's recent position in GME? Five below. Hit the first target. That's cool. Wow, look at what happened with Meta. So we're looking at a bearish scenario, and it didn't actually go for that. Instead, it went and increased by 20% over the last, what is this? Since, oh, this is a 2-day chart. Over the last week or so, it's up 12%, which is quite good. See, my arrows don't always work. It looks nice when it does, and when it doesn't, it's so out of place. I don't know what's gonna happen with Meta here, but I'm not just gonna keep drawing random lines. I'll leave this one in just to kind of keep the sanity check here, because up here you can think it's gonna go on forever, but once this happens, like first you'll never see a 35% drop. Like you won't forecast that, and also it feels like, oh my gosh, it's never gonna go back up, but then it does. So here it looks like, oh my god, it's gonna go up. It's gonna go back up to all-time highs. But this can help tailor that speculation. It looks like we also have some stuff here, but it's not plotted for some reason. So if that's the case, I'm just gonna delete it from here. Whatever we don't have. Oh, you know what it is? It is plotted, but it's probably on a different. It's on this chart. That's what it is. I'm gonna go into MindTrader here, and there. Okay, very nice. I actually like what I see over here. We got this movement into. Is it in play? Where is it? Stop loss, buy above 21. Yeah, this is in play. We got our first target up here. Oh yes, and there's one in the 3000s. Cool. I don't know when this was added, but it for sure is. It's working, right? Was there a stop loss? The stop loss barely never got hit. So if it was truly over here where it started, well, look at that 20% rally. Look at that market manipulation for you. Hype is crazy. I'm actually personally targeting it to hit $68. So it's nice to see MindTrader on the same side. We're really close to target one already. And we're positioned. I just want, 68. He's got it on 68 too, which super awesome. That actually kind of qualifies my thought process. This almost feels like a guaranteed play, but it's not unlike the market maker here. Looks a lot like for Synapse, which I really went super heavy on because of Flood, and then it just didn't do well afterwards. But that was like his first version of getting into the crypto liquidity space, and this here is like it is the biggest decentralized exchange, and the price hasn't yet to reflect that. Doesn't mean it's going to go up forever, but these pullbacks here, man, is pretty amazing. To go 23% off the bottom just a week ago. We're breaking through this area here. Like hype should be studied every single day, to be honest. All dips should be bought on hype. Zcash now. Zcash. Oh yes. Okay, we've seen this. It's also on my list. It's on my list of coins to be playing. And what do we do with this AI coin? So FET is an AI coin that was launched in 2021, and it's done so much crazy stuff since then. I don't know if it's going to have any steam to move up into this area, but if it does, I mean, if there are coins that are going to do that, it might be a FET. We'll see. We'll see. Like right now, like I guess I don't mind if I miss FET, FET, but I'll humor it. Even up here, we positioned well, we'll be able to capture on an upside move. It might move a little fast though, whereas Litecoin never moves. It's a slug that just basically snails. Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, they like to Doge. They like to mark the end of cycles, so it might pop, come back down, pop, and then everything just kind of collapses with it. It's possible, but I don't see it coming down. Like if I was a betting person, I would totally put my money that we're not going to see Litecoin at $101. Like there. If someone like I'll keep this chart like this. I like to see if it actually indeed does happen. I mean these are some crazy. What's up? How did you get this target, dude? Oh my gosh. When did you put this up? You put this up 2 weeks ago. So on the first, oh my gosh. There's like no chance that this happens in this arena right now. Now, if we start like I love the fact that we're looking at like we have a whole list of these targets because some of them start to do that and most of the market is moving up, we could just basically position ourselves and go, all right, well, the fairy tale is actually coming true. And then boom, 50% on this one. And then maybe even if we buy here, boom, 50%. Like we've seen Tau happen already. April 7th, safe trade, wait for breakout. Okay, we'll wait for a breakout above 47. This is like such a crazy target that maybe it does happen. Who knows? Who knows? Tau made its move. This is an example of a move that was made. So this could be the beginning of like all the rest of the moves that are bound to be happening. It's good to keep your eye up on this. Render typically moves with Bitcoin for whatever reason. I heard that from Rainbow Runner, and I just like use that now. Yeah, so if Bitcoin starts to run, maybe Render would be a good one to catch a beta play on. Aave got an alert today. It was up 10% or something like that, right off the bottom, like clockwork. Yeah, and then also, well, okay. Here's a point of distinction, Iman. When you make these alerts, you have to put them. They have to touch the line in order for the alert to go off. Like if I put them here now, it's gonna ring the alert. The stop loss, I guess you don't need to, but like this should not be so far out so that if it does end up going above it, yeah, here it goes. You see how it just triggered it? It's because now it's actually touching it. I mean, target one. Oh my gosh, I don't know what is. MindTrader is sipping on that hopium, honestly. But hey, I mean, this could be the start of the next bull run, right? If that happens, well, then heck, we're so positioned. This is the best job that we can do, that we can choose to do, you know? All right, I'm getting a phone call. Give me a sec here. Okay, we are not able to accomplish what we wanted to on this stream, which is to go through the whole journal and everything. We did do the alerts, and then we're going through watch list. So I guess we're doing Monday and part of Wednesday. But I think this would be X day, which is planning gigantic play. It would be like going through who's bull, who's bearish, finding some confluence, and then adding some confluence into here, checking the trade journal and seeing what we want to do. I wanted to go long on RKT. Costco is also good potential short if we're going to short anything because it only has a 27% IV. And I had positioned pretty heavily going into bed yesterday. So, it kind of played out in varying ways. It worked well. We made money. But here's market this and that. So this was yesterday, and I mean, we'll get to it one of these days. So today we're gonna finish up on the watch list. We're almost through it. Yeah, we're gonna look at Netflix on this chart here. We have some squiggles that did not end up playing out. They look weird when that happens. Wow, look at that rally from here, huh? 11%. There was a vertical line on April 2nd. I was thinking maybe April 2nd. It was like on the 26th or something. We would rally, and then in the 26th or something, we would come down. I don't know exactly. I think we were gonna go down on April. So we went up into April. Oh, April 2nd specifically. Yeah, it was like this after the second trading day, the third trading day, we would go down. And we've kind of like exceeded those expectations. It is the new full moon cycle. So I actually had that in reverse. The full moon is actually bearish, whereas the new moon is bullish. But looks like this full moon cycle, just like the last one, has been bullish at the moment. So we'll see. There's a pivot up here. I don't mind seeing what happens with Netflix up here. I wouldn't short it because it's Netflix overall. Earnings is coming around in 3 days. So who knows? Like it probably just ends up breaking out into all-time highs again. But Wolf, we are definitely in Wolf. I wish I would have gotten some down here today, but I did not. Just keeping the position that I'm in right now. We're looking at it. It's good. Bitcoin actually went up after hours, so Wolf is gonna jump another 10%. Love to see that. SPY, we have some where are the targets on Wolf? It was actually a short target, and it didn't do. It just broke out and never really came back down here, so that's awesome. It barely touched our stop loss, but we didn't have a stop loss anyway, so that's totally fine. We're keying in on like a $30 target, which is fine as well. SPY we talked about. We got this second target down here. Rivian. Now, Rivian's a special one because so many people want Rivian to go up, and I think ultimately it does. It's kind of like Rocket Mortgage, where each time it gets better and better because the results are there. Now we've strung together 2 good earnings. What was the bad one like? Yeah, it's not that great, but we've strung together 4 out of 5 earnings, and actually they were doing pretty good back here too. So maybe something to be cautious of. If it ever hits our buy area here, we'll obviously buy, but it's still above with the target of $22, which is still a very formidable move for Rivian, which I probably put onto this list here. Okay, Live Nation, I'm not going to touch. MicroStrategy. This looks so good. It's probably going to go up like 15% tomorrow. After hitting the stop loss, which is like it happens, especially with highly anticipated stocks like this, heavily traded. Hey, we're back to earnings again, man. I remember the last time I was watching the earnings on this one. This was I guess 2 months ago. Earnings is happening in 3 weeks, and then we'll see where this goes. Are we gonna push it into all-time highs again? I don't know. I don't actually think it does, just because if this move here, right? If this move on Bitcoin also goes up to 80 something and it comes down, this would be like a solid short opportunity. But I don't know. Like there's things that MicroStrategy is doing that's pretty good. This might be like the generational bottom here to buy. So I did buy 10 shares today, which is not a whole lot, but it could be worth just buying for long term. Like even if let's say you want to put $20,000 in here and then it comes down to this area where we have it alerted shorts that your investment's down 7,000, but you can put more money in at this point, and that could be a bottom. That's if you believe in Bitcoin, which on this stream we do. We have the Pikachu. We got the Pikachu pattern that I guess is playing out for Microsoft. It's up 6% here. I would have wanted to catch it a little lower, which it didn't go to. Hopefully it can. If it does, then I'm a happy buyer, happy and willing buyer up here. Not bad. And then maybe I'll set an alert here at 400 for Microsoft, just because. Like I don't see the Head and Shoulders pattern playing out like that, but we'll see, because there's a couple targets here. Amazon. Okay, this is a very recent one. So yeah, getting pretty close to that now, huh? Getting pretty close to that. We're looking for a potential short sale target on Amazon out of all things. Man, if Amazon actually does be that stock that tanks, everything's going with it. So We're gonna have to see. Oh, you're doing the picture method. That's nice to see. Yeah, cool. Chewy is kind of like GameStop, but yeah, I'm not messing with Chewy. Nope. Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab, anybody? It went on like a monstrous 11x, 17x run from 2 years back. Yeah, it's pretty amazing run. Finding some sort of bottom here. Yeah, I kind of see that happening. That's cool. Like something like that happening, and then that happening. Rocket Lab is good. I like that. What are we're trying to target all-time highs here. If it breaks out, do 1%. IV on that is probably high though, because it's a volatile stock. We have SPX and XPY. Let's just get rid of SPX. IREN. Yeah, I mean, I can totally see it hitting target one here at this point. I'm just not. Oh wow, I wasn't thinking about buying this just because of the $6 billion offering that they had, and all the other potential semiconductors stocks were doing really well too. But if you're not gonna buy any, you might as well buy this one. And the move, yeah, I mean, if it can break out into this target, I don't know if it goes back down. It probably does. Like this is probably one of those where, yeah, let's see. This is probably one where I would like to put it into do 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 do. Let's put it into good for trade. Sell pinks. I would want to sell pinks into iron. More of a bearish bias on this one. I think like having a bearish bias on one, and then the rest of the bucket having a bullish bias and being allocated into makes a lot of sense. All right, damn, what happened over here? Whoa, this was on 4-3. Man, this did so well. Okay, we saw this alert over here. It came up and then just damn for the whole week. Did one of those. Target one would be $18. We can't touch that now, but what a move. This will be this is like a kingmaker move. You get some puts 2 or 3 weeks out. It moves 31%. You're up like 40x. Apple. Okay. Up target on Apple. I want Apple. I want to start buying some Apple. If it can get down anywhere in these levels here, I just want to get Apple before like the iPhone Fold comes out, because man, so many people are gonna buy that one. Apple. Yeah. Same thing. You see this on a lot of charts here. It's like base, bing, base. Like if it's basing out, that, yeah, very reasonable for something like that to happen. It could be the bottom for Apple. The vids trying to crack all-time highs, going for it. We're about 11% off of all-time highs. Like this might actually be plausible though for a short sell. I don't know if we're going for a down move. Man, all the times I've tried to short sell Nvidia though, I won once ever. So might stay away from that one. Anyways, I'm gonna go and hop off now and continue this probably after my phone call. There. We're officially done with Monday. We can say that we went through the alerts and then we went through some watch lists. We probably will jump on some watch list and then go for some grounding day stuff. and then well, so on and so forth. This is good though. This is a good amount of time. We've been on for 70 minutes. Time just flies when you're staring and being active on charts. Maybe just me. Maybe just me thing. It's whenever you're feeling in flow, and I do get in flow when I look at charts.